Life is full of terrifying moments. Moments that, if not for a bit of luck, could easily spell disaster for those involved. After watching the videos we have for you today, it's a shock that nobody was seriously injured. From a man setting his own parachute on fire to a pilot surviving an intense crash landing, here are 5 scary moments that were caught on camera. Tornadoes are one of nature's deadliest events. Sometimes it can be hard to really appreciate and respect how powerful they are when watching clips online. This next video does not have that problem. On August 9, 2020, a huge tornado was churning up the city of Baotou, China around the Silamer and Grassland Swan Lake Resort. A family was occupying one of the units called yurts as a tornado was bearing down on them. The cameraman was filming the tornado when he realized it was headed straight for them. The video then suddenly cuts to a shot that shows the base of the twister only dozens of feet away. A few seconds after the tornado passed, things started to lighten up. But what was left to be seen was nothing short of a disaster. Luckily, the family survived without serious injury. In the resort, other yurts were also damaged, some worse than others. First responders were quick to the scene to treat the injured, and everybody made a full recovery. It was a sunny, clear day back in 2015 when this pilot decided to take his small propeller plane out for a ride. As he was flying over some fields, nearly 300 feet above the ground, you can hear the noise of the plane's engine losing power, followed by the engine suddenly cutting off and the propeller stopping. This is a pilot's worst nightmare. The pilot tried to restart the engine, but it was to no avail. With only the ability to glide left, the pilot now had to brace for an emergency crash landing. When you see the footage, it's hard to believe he survived uninjured. At first, he keeps his calm and was able to guide the plane towards an open plot of land. Seeing a tree line up ahead, the pilot pulled up and tried to clear it. However, the bottom of the plane hit the top of the trees, causing the aircraft to jolt sideways. Knowing that he no longer had control, the pilot braced for impact. When the plane touched down for a second time, it did a couple of violent barrel rolls before coming to a stop. Fortune was smiling on the pilot that day, as he was able to walk away from the crash without so much as a scratch. People are always finding ways to push the boundaries of what is possible. This is especially true in skydiving. Being an already fairly dangerous activity in and of itself, daredevil Kyle Marquardt felt that the fear factor needed to be turned up a little bit. In the early months of 2020, Marquardt got the idea to showcase a new way to utilize a reserve parachute. Marquardt's idea was to set his main chute on fire, allowing it to burn away so that he could pull his reserve chute. After months of planning and many practice jumps, Kyle Marquardt was ready to perform the stunt in September of 2020. The video starts with him floating at around 7,000 feet, just above the clouds. Then, we can see him look up and point a flare gun at his parachute. As soon as the flare hit the canopy, it burst into flames, sending him hurtling towards the ground. He cut away the straps from the first chute, fell a few hundred feet, and pulled the cord for his reserve. It opened without incident, allowing Marquardt to float safely back down to Earth. Although it was carefully planned, there's little doubt that a bit of terror went through Marquardt's body as he saw his parachute erupt into flames. Driving is the most common method of travel in the world. But, as there are many countries that lack the safety standards of more developed countries, some roads can be a bit more dangerous than others. This video was shot on a road called the North Yungas Road in Bolivia. It is more commonly known as the Road of Death, and when you look at it, it's immediately clear why. A group of tourists hired a driver to take them from the Yungas region into the city of La Paz, and this road was the way to get there. It is a one-lane road that on average measures around 12 feet across. On one side are the mountains, which the road is carved into. On the other side is a sheer cliff. Depending on which section of road a person is on, it can drop anywhere from a few hundred feet to over 4,000 feet straight down. And, of course, there is no guardrail of any kind.
Go on, Rob, give us a commentary. We're just short of a Tony, aren't we, Rob? What do you reckon? What do you reckon that drop? Oh my God!
I've not considered these doors may not be that secure. Oh, no. You're right, 2,000 feet. I can believe it.
There's a waterfall dropping hundreds of feet onto the road just round the corner. Look at that! Look at that! I think it's probably time for me to go inside at this stage. Are you ready? Whoa! Here we go! Oh no! Stop it! I can't close the window!
Although the group in the video are laughing and having a great time, the video still shows off just how dangerous the road can be. A spotter had to get out and measure the clearance between a section of mountain and the roof of the car. On more than one occasion, the tires come mere inches from the edge of the drop-off. They even drove under a waterfall which is constantly eroding the ground beneath it. But luckily for them, they didn't encounter one of the most dangerous aspects of this road: a car traveling in the other direction. It is estimated that between 200 and 300 people die on this road every single year. Thankfully, the people in this video all made it to their destination in one piece. In 2017, near the city of Motril, Spain, a group of friends decided to go mountain biking. They had been many times before and absolutely loved it. On this particular trip, though, things went quite a bit south. From the beginning of the video, you can see what the problem was: bees. It started as a few bees and quickly turned into an entire swarm. They tried to pedal away, but it was of no use. The bees stuck with them. With nowhere to hide, they were forced to endure the pain, hoping for the bees to let up.
Oh, a mí me han picado sobre todo en el cuello.
Oh, en todos lados. Ay. Vamos, que todavía nos siguen picando. Mira.
Yo esto no lo he visto yo en la vida.
Y yo tampoco. Ay, las orejas, tú. Ay, me duelen todos los brazos.
Two of the bikers ended up abandoning their bikes in order to escape. Finally, after hiking for nearly a quarter of a mile, they were able to get away. They were in quite a bit of pain, but thankfully there were no lasting effects. It could have been quite a different story, though, if one of them had been allergic. It was a terrifying situation regardless, knowing that you're being attacked and have nowhere to hide. There isn't much information as to exactly how many times they were stung, but from the looks of the video, probably enough to regret taking the trip that day. 2020 was a very active year in the United States for hurricanes. While most were relegated to the regions of Florida and Texas, some were able to make it to the northeastern states, either by skirting the coast or staying organized enough over land from the Gulf of Mexico. These storms aren't only known for their power. Hurricanes and tropical storms are also known for spawning tornadoes. This video was taken in Dover, Delaware in 2020 as Tropical Storm Isaias rolled through. It is a compilation of various security cameras from the Calvary Chapel Church. Watch as the wind rips pieces of the building off while a wall of pounding rain engulfs the background. Although no one was inside at the time, it was still a terrifying ordeal, especially when the true damage was discovered after the storm had passed. Entire ceilings were destroyed. A huge portion of the roof was gone from the front of the building. None of the members of the congregation were injured in this tornado, and in total, only one person lost their life in Dover. Normal moments can turn dire in the blink of an eye. Whether it be nature, mechanical failure, or human error, you never know when things can go from good to bad. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more just like it, be sure to click the link on screen now. With that, thanks for watching, and be sure to tune in next time.